Hi everyone, Lord Crew here, and welcome to my channel. So the topic for today is about the weekend rank meta-analysis for week 141. So without further guys, let's proceed. So first of all, we will start with the gods matchup for us to determine who's like the most dominant god and also the most popular one. And based on here, still that is the most dominant in terms of total win rate. And as you can see, followed by nature, magic, deception, light, and the last still is war, which is like 38.1% or below 40% here. So like I believe people who play war are like literally doing a flax farming during the weekend ranks. For example, if I finish already the weekend rank and then I will do a flax farming, then that's the time I start playing war. But technically, if you should not play war at this moment because they have like literally a weak win percentage to other gods here. And as you can see, God is the most dominant in terms of win rate, 56.9%. If I compare that to last week, it's 56.5. So there's a like a point 0.4 increase in the total win rate here. Now, if we terms in popularity, nature is the most popular, followed by death. If and then magic, deception, light, and war. Now, if we compare this one to the last weekend rank, on the last weekend rank, the most popular are nature, still the same here, but the percentage there is like 26. No, I'm sorry. The most popular last weekend rank on week 140 is light. There he's around like 29%, 29.7%. The light is the most popular, and then nature is like second around 26.9. But what happened now is there are like almost like 15% of light player are shifted into nature and death here and even magic, because death last week, even though he has a good win rate of like 56.5, number one, his popularity only is 11%. He was like top 4 in popularity last week, but now it becomes second. So there are lots of people are shifting now to heirloom death archetype now, or in death, and that's the main reason why. But nature from 26%, it also increased in additional 3%. And also magic is only 10% last weekend rank. It also went into now a 16. So there's like a 6% increase here, 3% increase here, and then around like 9% increase. So they're like literally a big increase on the on that our top three. And because of the light layer are now shifting over. One thing that I noticed is deception. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to deception, but last week in rank, they are like the second most dominant in terms of win rate. They are like second. They are like around 52% in win rate. Now they went down to 48.3%. And the popularity from 7%, they're like it seems like they're like the third most popular last weekend rank. Now also reduced minus 2% here. They're now 15.7. So there's a big decrease also, like 2% decrease in deception. So that's what happened. So there's like a lots of players are like moving in now, and especially they went to death now. So who knows? High chance by next week the popularity of death and nature might go increase again. I believe that will. I think that will increase again. So high chance might. Who knows? He might be the most popular deck. That, especially on this Mortal Judgment, you can like build a budget or cheaper version of this Heirloom one. So now, if we're gonna go now to look for the archetype, as you can see, on overall on the archetype, if I gonna zoom out, uh, let's go for the top 500. Okay, so on the top 500, if we gonna zoom out here, like 500 match, there Heirloom Death is the most highest win rate, below 60, 59.8, almost 60%, and the popularity is 15.4. And I think he's the second most popular in archetype. The most popular still archetype are like the aggro nature, and I think the nature has been split as 29%. It's been split up. Same with the death, where like 20% it's been split up, but the dominant are the heirloom. So if we're gonna focus down on death itself, you will notice like the heirloom is 15%, there's a sleep deception where you use either Demogorgon and the Siren of the Grave. That's like the sleep death there. It can be a combination of Heirloom or like a board wipe deck, and then the zombie. So there's still people around 3% still playing zombie death here. And zombie death, high chance in weekend rank, you might face one or zero at all. 3% in my experience is like you might face one or zero. So now if we're gonna go to the deception, there's a big decrease in the win rate. As you can see, Guild Zoo is still the highest win rate and the most popular one, 9.8%, like 10%, and the rest are split with the other archetype of deception like control, aggro, order, and mid-range here. Uh, the Guild Zoo is still the most dominant on their archetype and the most popular, like 9.8%. Now, if we're gonna go to light, there's a big decrease in light in terms of win rate and popularity. 12.3 are still playing the aggro light here. But as you can see, it went down to below 46%. I believe last on the last week they're around like 49% win rate. But I believe people now are adjusting on the new archetype and they're having like a good counter now to aggro light here. And we all know light has got a nerf, especially like the shield bearer, the mace of calling. They got nerf on that aspect of especially for those special aggro cards on aggro light, and even the Zealous of March. There's nobody, I believe nobody plays now Zealous of March, and we all know that was like their sometimes like their end game, and now they're just like pure aggro now. So there's still big popularity here, like 12.3%. Uh 12.3%. Now we're gonna go for Magic. There's a big increase in Magic from 10% last week into 16. And the most dominant is the most highest winner is still the Dralamar combo, but there are like 1.2%. This is like chances of one or zero at all on the weekend rank. You might face one or zero at all. So I never encounter any Dralamar OTK or Dralamar combo magic in my last weekend rank. But I managed to face like couples of like two or three or four on the control magic here. And as you can see, it's 9.7 percentage. And it's also a good win rate, 49.9. Why people are I believe there are lots of people are migrating to the control magic because of like it has like a good win rate versus good win rate versus the aggro, like the deception light, and also like the nature, because you have like a lot of board control, and especially using the lightning talisman here. Now the next will be nature. Agro nature has 54.7%, 5% lower on the regen nature, and aggro is 51% and 17% in popularity. So technically majority of like the meta is played by the aggro nature here, 17.7%. And they have like also a decent win rate. So if they have like a little bit good win rate on the Heirloom and the sleep death, but the rest are positive like for other decks, especially for the deception. Maybe this is the main reason why like deception are all went down because of the popularity of nature here, and then war. We all know this is like a control war. 44% is still bad. That's the most their highest win rate, and the popularity of that's 0.1, and literally 1% for the aggro war. Literally, I believe this is just like for fax farming now. So I believe GU should buff back war here. We all know war has been the dominant meta for the past couple of months, for almost a year or more. Now he's like literally the bottom one here, and I believe they each. So overall, as you can see, they're like all 48 to 50% are for me are like a good win rate. So technically, we have still have like a combination of deception, aggro, and magic here in terms of like a good win rate here. Now if we now next are we gonna go now for the net decking. So we have like now the top 20, and we will check their deck composition, what makes them special, and I will also give a summary of this one. So overall on the top 20, there are like 13 players who enter the top 20 playing death or using the Heirloom. So technically, they are like three Heirloom control. When I say Heirloom control, they are like the Heirloom deck with Apocalypse Now and Demogorgon. It was like popularized by Yogmoth, who managed to get 25 out of 25 last weekend rank. And unfortunately, we don't see Yogmoth on the type 20, but they are like almost like three player who use the same build, like not 100%. Some are like 100%, some are like some changes, and there are three of them. Nine using the Heirloom, like the average Heirloom, who has like the highest casting cost is like Land of the Dead, and like lower they're using Skull Scepter, like a multiple variation of Heirloom without Apocalypse and Demogorgon. And one is like a Sleep Death, because he has like Siren and Demogorgon. I believe it's like a updated version of the board wipe deck. They just name it by the Geo deck as a Sleep Death here now in this current meta type. There are like three nature in the top 20. Are three of them are majority aggro. Uh, they are like two players who play Deception. This two player in Deception are entered the top 10, and one guild control and one aggro. One guild control is still a concept of guild, but they have like a Demogorgon and Witherfinger here. So that's why I call it a guild control. And then two magic player. One is a Dralamar combo, and the other one is like it's not a Dralamar combo, but like an aggro Aether Snap combo, but still has a Dralamar. So overall, if we compare that to last weekend rank, there are like only I believe that are only 9. Now there's a big increase. They're like 13 now in death. So technically, it's a big bump now on death. There's no more light on the top 20. Magic are the same. Deception, 3 of all, -1 now. And nature were like 3 are still 3 here. So there's a big increase in death in the top 20 and no more light. So that's like the difference compared with the last weekend rank here. Now, if we're gonna go for the net decking, let's check now each deck quickly. So the number one managed to get 22 wins is Centralized Chad. This is like almost like similar to Yogmoth's Heirloom Control, where he has like two Demogorgon, Apocalypse, and I think what he's did is he -1 Reclaim and added one Skull Scepter. This might be a good idea because Skull Scepter are good versus like a good versus like a control deck, and also Heirloom versus Heirloom, because Skull Scepter is additional damage here, and this is like a good idea. I should like try this one. Uh, Another Heirloom deck. Two Apocalypse, no Demogorgon here, and almost like same, and he has like a Skull Scepter. So like a combination of control, and like I mentioned, Skull Scepter are good versus Heirloom, and because there's an increase in Heirloom death in play in terms of player, you might have like fight like lots of mirror match now, like Heirloom versus Heirloom. So Scepter is like a good candidate here, and also good for versus Magic, especially if they do lots of AOE. So this is Andre, 22 wins also. This is like literally the exact copy for the Yogmoth Heirloom. Guild Zoo, this is like the one I mentioned. This is like a guild zoo, but it's not supposed to be zoo now because there are lots of 7 casting cards. This is supposed to be like a guild control. Literally a guild control here, because we all know if you're a control deck, if you have like 3 or more 7 casting costs and above, and as you can see, there are like total of 5 of them, and they have Demogorgon, Witherfinger. Uh, he has like a Bound by Her Will, good counter for like the Anubian or from the Heirloom, because you can take control of Takat and Necromancer and kill it. He has also Cutthroat, good versus the Dralamar combo, and even also for Anubian to steal the Land of the Dead. This is like good one, and uh, also probably good versus the aggro, because he has like a 7 casting cost Demogorgon and Witherfinger to do a late game board control and to kill your opponent here. So next one is another aggro deception. This is more aggressive, more on like a combination of I believe this should be like also considered as guild, because majority are like guild here. It's supposed to be like a guild aggro. There are lots of aggro. He used Amber Arrow good counter versus aggro and Anubians or the Heirloom. And yep, I believe this should be called like a guild aggro, not just an aggro. Uh this Oko managed to get 21, no, still 22 wins here. So this like a good win rate. 22 wins and another one 22 wins, like only 3 losses, guy. But what I noticed, these three players are played last day of the weekend rank. So we all know like if you play last day of the weekend rank, you might just hype to face not a weekend rank deck, but a lot of like more on like the people who do a fox farming here. Okay, on another one, unknown player manage get a 21 22 wins. Is another 22 wins, and this is like a aggro nature here. Very aggressive. He has Dagan, an expensive one. A newly buffed Pinyan, they buffed Pinyan, and he is now considered wild, so it will be a good combo for Wildfire here. Heirloom, another version of Heirloom, but this supposed to be like a sleep Heirloom because you use Siren of the Grave. So there are like two variation of control. If if the Apocalypse Now and Demogorgon are too expensive, you can replace that one with Siren to do a group sleep control. This is like also like popularized by Masterclass, who managed to enter the top 20 last weekend, but he's using a Siren of the Grave for a like a board control here, not only for the mid game or like the late game, but also on early round, because this is just like a one casting cost creature. The only drawback is he need to obliterate one of his card. Another variation, I control Heirloom by similar with Jugmot. This one, anything that you see moving forward now from rank 7 to rank 20 are majority 21 wins player. Another version of Heirloom, a cheaper one. No Skull Scepter here, but a little bit more aggressive in terms of like Brimstone, like damage. Yes, like Semut. On the top 10, with the Skull Scepter, like a good counter for Anubian Heirloom versus Heirloom, having a Skull Scepter, Triage, and yep, that's it. Rank 11, an aggro nature entered the top 20. Has Dagan, almost like similar copy with the other aggro. That's what I noticed. Yeah, they're like almost identical. It's been played now 300 times. A sleep. This is like the another sleep deception here. Oh no, this is like literally a sleep deception. This is like a new version of board wipe deck. You have Demogorgon, Apocalypse, End Times, and Siren of the Grave. And there's like no literally a heirloom here. This is like a new version of board wipe deck. A new version. And who knows, this might get popular, but this is like a board wipe deck variation. Another heirloom death. Uh you use Trial of Begins. Usually you get creature here. High chance you might get Priestess Takat or the Raving Necromancer. I understand because there are times like if you don't have these two cards in early round, you cannot do a good Land of the Dead on the mid game. And maybe that's the main reason why he put one Trial of Begins here. Another Heirloom Death. This one is using Quorum. He has Skull Scap. It's like a mixture, but no Demogorgon and Apocalypse. So it's like more an aggressive one rather than control. Another one, Heirloom, more aggressive also with Skull Scepter. So the aggressive one are like literally good counter versus a Nubian. So if there will be a Nubian control versus a Nubian that is aggressive, a Nubian aggressive will literally dominate the control variation. And maybe that's the reason why we see less of those Yagmoth Heirloom in the top 20. Another version of Heirloom. This one is with Return of the Cave. Is this literally a heirloom? Yep, it's like a heirloom because it has Takat and Vile, Raving Necromancer, and his control a little bit of using the Takat, probably to summon more Anubian. And another aggro, the third aggro that we've seen, this one has no Dagan. Cheaper version, no Dagan, but oh, this is literally this is supposed to be for me. This is supposed to be called a regen nature because he has a trial of Hydra and with a dual wildfire here. Yeah, This should be like a regen nature. Dralamar combo using Magic Ink, and no Alistrina here. That's like the weird here. No Alistrina. Usually the Dralamar with Magic Ink is with Alistrina, so you can like literally cast the Dralamar instead of turn 7 into early one into turn 5. He will use Helpful Fox to downgrade the Aether Snap, which is 1. But no Alistrina here. Alistrina are very good here. But still, this is like a Dralamar combo, Magic Ink, Aether Snap, and Dralamar to do, and the infinite cycles, infinite loop of the Magic Ink will do infinite damage of the Aether Snap. Fenor Tapion, another variation of an aggressive. He has like one Apocalypse here, so he's like a half control, half aggressive. He has Iron Tooth, good for versus the Lightning Talisman, and versus like Mirror for removing Skull Scepter. And then the last will be the another aggro magic here. This is like a aggro Aether Snap. He has Dralamar, same like the pre, but no Alistrina here. But he has no magic in here, so he cannot do an infinite combo. So technically, this is like a pre, post core refresh where you just keep on drawing, play eight. It means this is not a one turn kill, but like a board control, and then kill your opponent, then draw again. It's more on the Aether Snap combo here. Like Aether Snap combo, that's it, but not literally an OTK like a one turn kill. Once you there's no Magic Ink. Yes, Dralamar probably, but instead of like using Magic Ink to do infinite loop, he will just draw a lot of card or use spells, throw to your opponent's face, like a god damage directly on the face rather than board. Okay, so that's it, guys. We already shown the top 20. My prediction for the next weekend rank, there might be an increase another of Anubian, especially now it's now from 11 now into 20. I believe it will increase more, probably up to 25. 25. My prediction will be like gradual, not big, probably 25%, or it might be like a 25%. And for the nature, uh, agro nature might be still the same or get additional more here. And let's see what will happen to deception and magic, if there gonna be more player going there. But I high chance the light. I believe light will going down again from 29 into 14. I believe it will still go lower more, and those player may go to either uh, nature or the death there. So there will be a lot of for the Anubian and the aggro nature here, or the heirloom and the aggro nature, or regen, probably regen nature. That's all, guys. So if you have like question or suggestion, kindly please leave me a comment. And if you like the video, kindly please subscribe and like. And see you next time. And thank you for watching.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons.